Jesus Trilogy, Book 1, The Four Messiahs, Chapter 27. Look, see over there? Jabbar said to his mother, Quran. Oh, yes, I see it. What is it? She asked. It's a star, he answered. I know that, she said. It's a star, Mom. I don't know its name. There, it looks like it's moving. No, I guess it's not, Percy said. Suddenly, it did move. They all saw it. It's moving, Dad, Jabbar shouted excitedly. The star is moving. Percy was standing in the tent door, peering eastward. Boy, it's cold out here, he said, shivering. But you are right, son. Last night it was in Orion's belt, but now it's moved down by Regal. Look, there's another one, Jabbar said, looking north. Where? Mother asked. Over there, Jabbar said, pointing. Yes, it's right by the Big Dipper's handle. Percy, what's going on? Karan asked, fear in her voice. I don't know, dear. Maybe some apparition, Percy said, also with some apprehension. Look, there's another one, Percy exclaimed, looking south. Karan grabbed her husband's hand and squeezed it tightly. It was his right hand, and he winced. Maybe the world is ending, she thought. Jabbar, in the tent, now. Mom! Then all three of them heard it at once, the faint but perceptible sound of music. They were on a hill a mile west of Bethlehem. Percy was the leader of the Bedouin shepherd tribe. There were 6 tents in all, with about 600 head of sheep. All 6 families were now in the central area between the tents. Each head of the family usually took turns on watch, 2 hours per family per night. Percy's was the second watch. He had awakened the others, and all 25 people were staring at the evening sky, no one saying a word. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, Lord of heaven, Lord of love. Praise him with exceeding gladness, Lord of light and Lord of love. They'd never heard this music. It was more beautiful than any could have imagined. Even the great Jerusalem choir did not compare to this. Gradually the music became louder and louder. With increasing intensity came even more beauty. Little Jabbar was an accomplished singer for his age. He'd even done a couple of solos in the Bethlehem church. Softly at first, then louder and louder. It was infectious. Slowly each of the 25 onlookers began to sing. They'd never heard the song, but they sang as if they had known it all their lives. Suddenly there were more stars. Each star split in 2 and then split again. The 25 kept singing at the top of their lungs, and soon the sky brightened considerably, becoming filled with light. It was now almost as bright as noonday. The little group kept singing and gazing skyward. The 600 or so sheep also stared up in the sky, seemingly understanding exactly what was going on. Surprisingly, not one baa was heard. What a wonderful woman, Ab thought. Farah always paid him a visit when he was in town. She was good to him even when she was busy. She must be an angel, he mused. No one could ever take the place of Siri, his late wife. It had been 3 years since the malignancy had taken her, but God had sent his angel Farah to ease his loneliness. Maybe I should marry Farah, he thought. I'll talk to her about it next month when I return. He promised himself. Then he thought, no, she wouldn't want me. She has her husband, though she doesn't love him. Just a sham marriage, but she deserves a younger man, one who has more energy. He rolled over and caressed the woman's beautiful hair, then buried his face in it. He so loved to do that. But she says I'm the best lover she's ever had. Sat up in bed. Or is she just being nice? It's just another of her angelic qualities. He buried his face in Farah's hair again, but she didn't stir. Suddenly he jumped. Ab, let's go. It's already 7:45. It was Nahor at the door. Okay, I'll be right there. He'd overslept again. Ab quickly dressed, kissed the sleepy Farah full on the lips, and raced out to the stable. Another fine winter day, Ching Lin said and bowed. Quit that bowing, you old Chinaman, Abdullah said. I'm no king. Say, Ab, speaking of kings, what do you know about this new king that is supposed to come along and wipe out the Romans? Nahor asked. They say he's going to set up shop in Jerusalem. Yes, we have seen a star in the eastern China sky, Ching said. That's not a China sky, you old windbag. That's a Hebrew sky. I beg to differ. It's an Indian sky, Nahor said defiantly. Whatever, Ab sighed. Well, Ching said. Well, what? Ab said disgustedly. What of the king? Ching pressed. Good caramel roll, Ab said. Ab, Ching said, irritation in his voice. Okay, confusion, Ab said. Ching glared at him. Come on, you two, Nahor said. He was 6 feet 4, tall for an Indian. Ab was 5'10", and the Chinaman barely 5 feet. It's a story about a king, Ab began. We gotta go, Ab, Nahor urged. 2 minutes, just give me 2 minutes, Ab said. Nahor knew it was no use, so he sat back down and bit into another caramel roll. He'd gotten very full at breakfast, but he could always eat more. And he knew Ab was going to get his 2 minutes in. Old Isaiah, the great Hebrew prophet, told of a king who would come to save the world or something. Or what? Ching said, still irritated with his friend, but interested nonetheless. Ab sighed. Ching didn't always get his drift. He's supposed to come, Ab repeated. When? Let me finish, Ching. So sorry. Do proceed. Ching now looked at him with a more keen interest. He is supposed to come and save the world. From the Romans? Nahor asked. He too was now listening. I think so. It just says he will save his people. It also says he will be the victim of suffering, but in the end will triumph and be king over all the earth. When is he coming? Is he already here? I don't know, Ab said sharply. I see, said Ching. It doesn't say when, Ab said, calming down. Too bad, Nahor said. But it does say where, Ab continued, his face lighting up. Where? Ching was beside himself. He talks of Bethlehem. Where's what? Nahor asked. Bethlehem, Ab corrected. It's a little suburb just south of the city of kings. That's Jerusalem. Suddenly he felt a tingling sensation working through his entire body. Isaiah also talked of a star of David, a star in the east, he said. All three stared at one another, suddenly silent. They packed their camels in continued silence and headed for the marketplace, where they parted company and each picked up a full load. They met at the gate at 11, everyone fully loaded, and headed through the gate to the west. The day was cool, but the warm sun made it quite pleasant. They rode for 3 hours, then stopped at a small oasis for lunch. They had said little all morning, each one lost in thought. I packed an extra bolt of silk and some extra incense, Ching said, breaking the silence. I got some extra spices and got a 2-for-1 from old Ram on the grade. A lilac perfume. He says no one can afford the expensive stuff, Nahor said. Well, I thought I'd bring some extra gold and got a couple of nice diamonds, Ab said proudly. There probably won't be any king, Nahor said. But if there is, Ching said. We'll be ready for him, Ab interjected, the hint of a smile coming to the corner of his lips. Well, gentlemen, let's go meet this king of Jerusalem, Ching said as he stood and bowed. Ab didn't bother to show his disgust. The three rode hard across deserts through Asia, Persia, and reached Damascus on the 20th of December. They got good prices for their goods in the huge Damascus market, which was in the city center. They each kept their little extras for the new king, but they still weren't convinced that he existed. Even if he did, they doubted they would find him. However, night after night the star was still there, high in the eastern sky. It stayed in Orion's sword and got brighter each night. They were supposed to go home with full loads. There was a market day on January 14, but their curiosity won out. It was only money, Ab said, so they headed toward the City of Kings to find the